Okay, welcome back to Coin Mojo. I got a interesting hunt for you today. I came across a 40-year-old time capsule at the bank. If you like the content I'm presenting, please subscribe, comment, like, and push that bell. I want to present more videos like this. Hope you enjoy. Right after a guy dropped off $24.50 in customer wrapped pennies. They have dates on them. 10/2/82, 10/22/82. I'm assuming that these were all wrapped on those dates or stashed away. 10/2/82, 10/15/83. Says one thing, if that's true, and just based on the rolls, they look like older rolls. 10/22/82. It says that these rolls are probably going to be filled with copper at a minimum, and hopefully it also means older coins, older than 1982. And obviously everything 82 or older is copper. Nothing on that one. Literally every roll has a date on them, all in the 80s, early 80s, 10/15/83. So I'm going to crack into this box and I will report findings. Thanks. Okay, I opened the box, sorted them out by the dates, and I ended up with a bunch from 10/2/82. Then the next date was 10/22/82. There were several there. It looks like this person rolled up a bunch on 10/15/83. And then there were 4 rolls with no dates on them at all. And these two, now these are definitely older rolls, even older than this style. So I'm going to save those for the end. But I figured while I got you here, I'm going to take the first roll and we're gonna open one just to see if they're all copper. And okay, so they're definitely not Wheaties. 81, 79, 77, 77, 82. So far, looks like it's holding up. I'm not seeing 67. Not seeing Wheaties though. 73, 75. So yeah, it looks like it's a copper hoard. Some decent condition ones as well. 63, 69. Not seeing Wheaties. All right, I'll come back if I find Wheaties. All right. Well, I couldn't do it. I couldn't wait until the end, so I popped these 4 rolls first, the ones without any dates on them or dated. I was hoping for a Wheaties in these 2 rolls here. I didn't expect much out of these, but just like I suspected, they're entirely filled with 60s, 70s, and 80s. So these are all the 60s out of the first 4 rolls. I didn't see any S mints yet. All 70s. Some of them in pretty minty condition. A few 70s in there. I'll be looking for and a handful of 80s, but none beyond 1982. And of course, they're like new, if some of them are. And then I did manage to pull a 59 and 2 Wheaties, a 58D and a 47D. And those two did come out of the older looking rolls. So I'm gonna get on with the rest of this search, and hopefully I'll have more Wheaties to report. Always looking for the mint state coins as well. I've seen several 70s and several 60s, so we'll be looking for small and large date, but this is a lot to process, so I'll probably hold off on the deep search until a later time. It's my retirement plan. Had to come back for a second. I did pull a short stack of mid 60s and 70s Canadian, two young heads, 58 and a 52, which in my previous video I said I was going to save. This one seems to be in pretty decent shape, so I'll hang on to that one, and I save all the seagulls.
Rock dove.
Yep, well, the search goes on. Okay, here to wrap it up, mega copper box. The entire box was copper. There was nothing older, younger, or newer than 1982. And even then, I only pulled about a pound of 82s. So what I came across, it appears, is a time capsule. There were 3 batches of coins dated 10/2/82, 10/22/82, and 10/15/83. I still discarded some of the copper because I can't save everything. I mean, just stuff not worthy of hanging on to. I'm not really a copper horse. This batch right here, this is all 1970, 71, and 72. And those will be searched later. That's where you're gonna find your varieties. 69, 70, 71 proof double die, 72 double die, 82s. Then on this side you got the 1960s large and small dates, and then you have the 60D over D. So out of all of that, these are all 1960s, right? So we're going to search those later. The rest of these are 1960s in decent shape. No crud, no rust. These are all 70s. And then, so out of all that, these are all the Wheaties I found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The oldest one being a 1919. If you don't have a 1919 in your collection, you're not searching hard enough. This is a 1940, 2 41s, a 41D and a 41P, a 1945, 46, 2 47Ds, 1950D and a 1950. Got one last week in my hunt, 2 51Ds, a 52 and a 58, a pretty good variety. I also saved the Canadian rock doves. Been saving them since I was a kid. I like them. I started saving them then. I probably got a dozen rows of these. I'm also saving the young heads, since they're older than 1959. So if I'm saving Wheaties, I'm saving the young heads. But anything after 1959, they're getting tossed back to going back to the bank. Got a couple Rexes.
Who's Rex? I meant to say George. Sorry.
43 and 52. I forgot Canada's got to go this way. Canada's not. So flip over. And 57 and 58. And then I pulled out of all of that, I was at total of $24.50 in pennies. So I pulled all the S's as I searched, and
San Francisco
this is the
Mint
total.
Mark.
of all the S mint marks, with the exception of this one. I set that aside because the 1969 P is a low mintage
coin,
and it has a little bit of value, and it's actually in pretty good shape. Not quite mint state, but it's it'd be up there. AU area. Mint state 65 is worth, let's take a look. 69. Mint state 65. Or, yeah, 70 cents. So we got a 68S. I got 3 69S's. I got 2 70S's, but they are not the small date. They are the large date, and you can tell by the, let's see if we look at this, right? The small date has the hook on the 9 pointing towards the bottom of the 7. The large date, the hook on the 9 points towards the S. So that's kind of a good way to tell. So if I take a closer look at this, it certainly looks like the 9 is pointing, the hook is pointing at the S. Same with this one. So we have the large date and the large date S. 50 cents in mint state 65. Not quite mint state 65, but they're not horrible. Then I pulled 3 71S's and a 72S, which is in pretty good shape, and a 74S, and that wraps all the more pertinent coins. These piles will be searched at a later date for small dates and varieties. I basically came across, like I said, a time capsule. So it was interesting searching coins from 1982. It's like I walked in a bank and walked out with a box of pennies in 1982, because nothing beyond 1982. It was a little disappointing that even in 82, we were only 20 years removed from the Wheaties, and that's all that was in there. Primarily it was 70s, so these are all the bag of 70s that I kept, bag of 60s that I'm keeping and searching later, and then these are the 80, 81, 82s that are in better shape. Again, I am throwing back some of this copper. I'm not copper hoarder, so. Okay, that's a wrap for me. It was a pretty good hunt. I was excited. I was hoping for better results. I'm not disappointed. I ain't mad, Rob might say. Can't get mad at that. Yeah, pretty good overall. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Push that bell, like and comment. We'll see you next time. Coin Mojo out.